Thank you all for joining and welcome to Navigating LA County and Metro Contracting Opportunities with Los Angeles County Supervisor and Metro Board Member, Kathryn Barger. If you experience any difficulty connecting via Zoom at any time during the webinar, please contact Vivian Soto at vsoto@mwisinfo.com. Please send your questions via the Q&A function. Elizabeth Juarez, a Senior Account Manager, will be available to answer in real time. Disclaimer. As the host of this meeting, Merriwether & Williams Insurance Services reserves the right to remove anyone participating or engaging in behavior that is either inappropriate or a distraction to the proceedings. Persons involved in such behavior will be immediately removed from this meeting and not allowed to rejoin. On today's panel, we have representatives from the Contractor Development and Bonding Program, LA County Public Works, and Metro. And now, to introduce Supervisor Kathryn Barger, please welcome Michelle Quirante.
Good afternoon. Thank you everyone for joining us today. We're very happy you decided to be with us today. My name is Michelle Quirante. I am a Senior Account Manager for Merriwether & Williams, and I will present the fundamentals of bonding and the services of the Contractor Development and Bonding Program, or what we call CDAB, and what we provide. In today's outreach workshop, we will discuss how to participate and take advantage of opportunities with the County of LA and Metro through CDAB. Representatives from these agencies will speak on the available resources for small businesses in their departments and the certifications needed to compete for public contracts. The Contractor Development and Bonding Program is fully funded by these agencies and is intended to create more access to their contract opportunities. This helps create much needed diversity, equity, and inclusion in the construction field. We are here to grow your business and help you successfully participate in public contracting. And one staunch supporter of the program is Supervisor Kathryn Barger. And I am here just to give you a little bit of background about Ms. Barger. Supervisor Kathryn Barger proudly serves the residents of the 5th District, Los Angeles County's largest district, spanning over 2,785 square miles, which includes 20 cities and 83 unincorporated communities in the Antelope, San Gabriel, San Fernando, Crescenta, and Santa Clarita Valleys. Dedicated to providing effective, responsive representation to the residents of LA County, Kathryn Barger began her career in public service as a college intern in the office of former Supervisor Antonovich. She rose to become his chief deputy in 2001, where she served until her election to the Board of Supervisors in 2016. Building upon her work from her time as the chief policy advisor on health, mental health, social services, and children's issues, Kathryn continues to advocate for services and programs to improve the quality of life for foster children, seniors, veterans, those with disabilities, and those with mental illnesses. Kathryn is committed to keeping our neighborhoods and communities safe, working with federal leaders, law enforcement officials, and judicial officers to implement vital public safety initiatives. She is a firm advocate for the environment. She has spearheaded efforts to preserve open space and enhance parks, trails, and recreational programs and facilities, as well as libraries and after-school programs to serve local communities. She has hosted several trail rides and hikes to connect with the community throughout her district. Kathryn was also born and raised in the 5th District and comes from a family with deep roots in public service. She is married to a retired sheriff's deputy and lives in the San Gabriel Valley. So please give a warm welcome to Supervisor Kathryn Barger.
Welcome to today's workshop. I'm Los Angeles County Supervisor Kathryn Barger, and I am proud to serve on the Metro Board of Directors. Today's event is incredibly timely. Our thriving economy in Los Angeles County boasts a booming construction sector, and it's continuing to grow. The county has allocated millions of dollars in public construction opportunities. Metro is also embarking on its own major multi-million-dollar construction boom after voters approved Measure M in 2016. This effort allowed Metro to begin the most ambitious infrastructure expansion program in the nation. Measure M will generate $120 billion to complete dozens of major infrastructure projects over the next 40 years. And since Los Angeles will hold its 2028 Olympics, there will be even more of a focus to develop critical projects so we are ready. Though we have these historic opportunities underway, there are still barriers that present hurdles for small and diverse businesses. To reduce obstacles, Los Angeles County and Metro implemented the Regional Connector Development and Bonding Program. These opportunities are key for you to take advantage of the growth happening all around us. Today, you will hear about the services and benefits the program provides, explore potential projects, and learn the fundamentals of bonding and why it is necessary for public works. This program is also designed to expand your bonding capacity as contractors and to encourage your participation in construction projects for Los Angeles County and Metro. I hope you take advantage of the valuable resources available to you at no cost. I fought to get this program implemented to help small and diverse licensed contractors benefit from public contracting opportunities. As you know, working with public agencies is challenging, but this program is here to help contractors break through those barriers. We're grateful to the Merriwether and Williams team for bringing you here to guide you with their array of services. You will also hear from the County Department of Public Works on their certification process, which is a critical element to obtain contracting opportunities. And of course, Metro is here to help you do business with their agency. Now is the time for you to get involved and grow your business. We hope today's workshop will equip you with the tools you need to maximize your potential. We are all rooting for you to thrive and succeed in Los Angeles County. Thank you for your participation, and we hope you enjoy today's webinar.
Thank you, Ms. Barger. So moving on to the next portion of our program, like I mentioned, my name is Michelle Quirante, and I am the Senior Account Manager with Merriwether and Williams, administering the Regional Contractor Development and Bonding Program, here to provide you an overview of the services and benefits associated with the program. So like Mildred mentioned earlier, there's an account manager who is actually Rick Casillas, who will be overseeing the chat. So during my presentation, if you come across any questions you'd like further clarity on, please type it in the chat or the Q&A, and Rick will be more than happy to answer your questions. And if we can answer it at that time, we'll definitely get back to you with an answer. Next slide, please. So a little bit about us here at Merriwether and Williams. We are a full service property and casualty insurance brokerage firm. We have various types of insurance programs dedicated to construction, risk analysis, and risk mitigation. We administer bonding and technical assistance programs throughout California, which has been in place for 16 years. And this is in Northern California and Southern California. We have offices based here in Los Angeles, San Francisco, and Oakland. And like many of our participants here today, we actually are also a small women-owned and minority-owned firm. So we can relate to the obstacles that small businesses face, which has helped us model this program to address those issues. Next slide, please. So what is the purpose and mission of the Contractor Development and Bonding Program? So this is the main objective. The objective is to reduce the barriers of bonding and contractor capacity which enables greater and successful participation of our small, local, minority, women, and disabled veteran-owned businesses in public contracting. So what you see here is what we base our program on, is what we call our 4 pillars of contractor development, which I'll be covering a little bit more in detail in the next slides. What I want to go over in this particular pillar is the first pillar, which is the first step in getting into the program. So if you are enrolling into the program, you submit an enrollment form, that's your first step. And then you will be assigned to a dedicated account manager, such as myself or Rick Casillas, who is present here. Our job is basically to dedicate our time to your business, to your firm. We will hold an assessment meeting with you to see where you are at, if you're either a new contractor that just started your company. Some companies come into our program that has, been in business for over 5 years. So we have various levels of contractors that enroll into the program. Some contractors enroll into the program that actually are in the process of obtaining their contractor's license, which we also enroll them as well because they're taking the first steps necessary to get the assistance needed so that they can be successful with their construction company. So the next pillar you see here is the bonding and contract financing assistance, which I'll cover more. We also have education, training, and contract support, as well as prime contractor partnerships. Next slide, please. For those of you that aren't familiar with bonding, I know bonding can be a little bit confusing in this industry. So it is different from the bonding that is required when you get your contractor's license. So some contractors feel that they are bonded when they get their contractor's license and they have the $15,000 bond that is required once you obtain your license. So that is not the type of bonding that is necessary when you're trying to do business with a public agency. So this type of bonding is completely different. So bonding is a 3-party agreement that guarantees a contract completion. Some of the key elements is it protects the other party and not necessarily you as a contractor. It protects the owner of the project. In this case, it could be the agency that you're working with, or the prime that's working with the agency that you're a subcontractor for. You cannot purchase bonding and you must qualify for it. So it's different from insurance where you can just purchase insurance and you're covered. You have to qualify for bonding, and how this is determined most of the time is through your credit, your character, and your capacity. And unlike insurance, no loss is expected. So for the bonding, the owner is in confidence, making sure that they have the bonding in place to make sure that you are completing the project and there is no loss associated with completing the project. So bonding is in place because it was mandated by law on public works projects, federally through the HURD Act and the Miller Act, and local and state through the Little Miller Act. So it ensures that the owner receives the finished product at the negotiated price. So it's ensuring that whatever amount of budget you bid for that project, you're going to adhere to and also complete in its entirety. It ensures that all subcontractors, suppliers, and vendors are paid. And it also acts as a pre-qualification instrument for your ability. So as some of you may know, a lot of prime contractors will ask for your bonding capabilities, and also the agencies such as Metro and LA County, because this kind of lets them know your capacity and how large of a project you can complete. Next slide, please. So going a little bit more into detail of the technical assistance provided with the program. So like I mentioned, we do help obtain your bonding. So if you're a contractor that does not have your current bonding in place, we have resources available to you. These are broker partners we've had for 16 years that can help connect you to the right surety that based on your level of expertise or how long your company has been in place, can help connect you with the right surety so that you can obtain your bonding. In the event that you already have your bonding in place, we can also help you increase your current bonding capacity. In addition to the bonding, we also offer a lot of technical assistance. So definitely be covering more on the technical assistance on the further slides, but it is a wide list of services that we provide, anywhere from helping you get certified to helping you navigate solicitations with the departments that we work with. You'll also learn a little bit more about our contract-based financing program, which we call our CDABP, which is a new addition to our program. And one of the important parts of our program is the agency collateral support. So what that means is if you currently have bonding and you're limited to a certain amount and you're trying to bid a larger project with Metro or the County of LA, and you can't quite meet that amount. For instance, I like to give just a brief example of that. We had a contractor who is bonded for $500,000 who was trying to bid a couple of projects with one of the agencies that we work with at the same time. One was for 1.3 million and one was for 1.7 million. Given that he only had $500,000 in bonding, he would not have been able to do this on his own. So since he was enrolled in the program, we went through the collateral support application. The agency was able to approve him for the collateral support of $250,000 on each one of those opportunities, which enabled him to bid both projects at the same time. So that kind of gives you an idea of where the collateral support can take you. And I just like to give that example just to give you a little clarity on what that means. And another benefit is accounting cost subsidies. So if you're enrolled in the program and you're trying to get your bonding increased, or trying to obtain bonding and your broker is requesting for CPA prepared financial statements, if you're enrolled, you receive a one-time subsidy of $3,200 to help you offset some of that fee. So that's a one-time subsidy, which is a substantial amount for a small business contractor. Also, you will receive weekly bid opportunities. So every week we send out a distribution that encompasses all bidding opportunities for that week. And not just that, it's also outreach events, networking events, anything that can help your business within that week. It helps identify all opportunities in one place, so you're not constantly receiving emails from different departments and agencies. Next slide, please. Okay, so one of the items that I mentioned was a new addition to our program is our contract financing assistance program, which is CDABP. And I'll just give you a brief overview. This kind of gives a lot of details, but basically if you are bidding with LA County or Metro and you identify a project that you're interested in bidding on, you submit a bid and you're potentially going to be the low bidder or you're going to be awarded the project, we have financing available to you. So we pretty much use that contract once it is awarded as your collateral. So the best way to go about this is when you identify that project with those agencies is to start the process with us in pre-qualifying for the CDABP, so that in the event that you do get awarded the contract, you will have that funding available to you. The money will be released as needed, not all up front. This is just to make sure that you're covering the costs for the first few months that your project is starting up. Interest fees are required, but they're very competitive with the market rate. I think right here it says 6.25 interest, and I know, as you all know, recently the interest rates have gone up. So I know that's a little bit different now, but it is a lot lower than traditional lenders. What happens is your bills are paid first, your subcontractors, vendors, suppliers are paid first, then the rest of the payment goes to your lender, and then whatever is the balance is sent to you as a contractor. The objective of this and one of the benefits is this helps our contractors be able to bid on more projects that were previously unreachable. It will definitely help you boost your credit scores. It will teach you cash flow, and it improves your likelihood of getting future capital from traditional lenders. Next slide, please. So a little bit more about the technical assistance we provide. Like I mentioned, when you do enroll into the program, you're assigned to an account manager. After you have that assessment meeting with your account manager, they will develop an assessment and work plan for you. This work plan is pretty much the recommendations that we have identified after meeting with you, so that you can go and kind of follow the steps needed so that you can take the steps on, okay, what to do first. Do I need to get certified first? Or do I need to get registered on LA County or Metro's portal first so I can get access to opportunities? So this is a working document that you'll have with your account manager with your next steps, determined upon your goals that you had when you sat down with your account manager. The contractor profile is actually a capability statement that we create for you as a contractor that you can utilize as your marketing tool, either when you're going to outreach events or, reaching out to other contractors for partnerships, and you can send them the information through email. So this is a marketing tool we create for you. Certifications, we can help you identify the certifications that you would qualify for with the agencies that we work with, as well as where to direct you on how to start applying for those certifications. And we do this from the time you apply to the time you are approved for a certification, because we all know that process isn't just one day. Sometimes it takes 15, 30, 45 days. So we help you navigate that whole process. Bid document review is another service that we provide, which I'll cover more in a later slide, as well as the contract completion support. Monthly workshops and coaching. So if you're enrolled in the program, you'll have access to monthly trainings that we provide on various construction related topics. We actually are finishing up an OSHA 30 training this week as of today, I believe. So that was a free training that we provided to our contractors, no cost, and whoever completed that training this week will be able to get their OSHA 30 card at no cost. We also offer labor compliance trainings, prevailing wage trainings, certification trainings, and that's just a few of the trainings that we provide to our contractors. And we also hold a couple of training academies during the year. These are focused on bidding and estimating and contract award and management. So these are about 6 to 7 week sessions that cover those topics very specifically. And it's very informative to our contractors. It's a very popular academy that we have. It's an intimate cohort. So all the trainings we have, or the academies we have, contractors are able to ask a lot of questions, even do mock bids, sample proposals, and mock, proposals. So it's a good practice session for our contractors. We also have what we call our prime partnership program. So in the sessions I just mentioned about the academies, our prime partners actually help teach those. So we're partnered with primes such as McCarthy Construction, Webcore, PCL Construction, Turner Construction, and those are just a few. And what they do is actually mentor our contractors when they're teaching those sessions, because we have their industry professionals who are the lead estimators, senior project managers, and they're the ones teaching the sessions. And our contractors are able to ask, the important questions. And also some of our contractors have actually been awarded projects through the partnerships they've created in our academies. Next slide, please. And in addition to the technical assistance, we also offer field support services. So we have our field support project manager, Robert Lowery, who helps assist with this. He has over 30 years of experience in project management with various prime contractors. So this is an area that we can bring him in with your account manager when it's necessary. And as you see here in yellow, we call this our bid review disclaimer. So like I mentioned, we do offer bid documentation review. This does not necessarily mean we're offering you the numbers associated with your bid, because we don't provide any services for that, but We do oversee your bid if you are interested to see if you're missing any information that the agencies require. If you're leaving things blank, you probably will be deemed non-responsive with the agencies. And if you're not aware of that, that's something we're aware of, so we can help you with that. So in the event that you don't win that bid, you can't go back to us and blame us for not being able to win that project. But we do offer the service of us reviewing your documentation just to make sure that you have a second set of eyes helping you along the way. So along with that, if you attend the pre-bid, we're definitely there to help attend the pre-bid with you. We attend all pre-bids, so we kind of know more or less the requirements associated with the projects you're trying to bid with the agencies that we work with. We do a contract review. This is what Robert Lowry does. He helps you review the plans and the specs of the project, assist you with identifying risk, and assist you with identifying required bid documents. We'll do a final bid document review. Like I mentioned, this is going to be with your account manager and Robert Lowry, our field support project manager. In the event that you don't win that particular opportunity, we will also support you with a post-bid debrief, which is highly recommended when you're bidding with, with the public agencies, because this helps to identify where you went wrong, exactly why you weren't awarded that bid, whether it was something you missed in the paperwork or if it was your numbers. You'll be able to see what the other bidders were bidding at. Next slide, please. So in the event that you are to use the program's collateral support, you will definitely get contract support throughout the whole project term. So whether that is 1 year, 3 years, we are going to be here to support you. Robert Lowry will be here to make sure that he is there to support you along the way. And our objective is to make sure that you are successfully completing the project and that the agency in which the collateral you are using won't have any issues or claims as well. So before we do that, once you're awarded the contract, we'll do a job start checklist, a project kickoff meeting. So before the project even begins, we'll gather all the important key players of that particular project, from the project manager, the contract administrator, our team, and kind of have everyone on board, even your bonding company and the funds administration company, making sure everyone is on the same page so that we're all working as a team to make sure you are successfully completing this project. We do a contract and principal status report, which is a monthly report that we get from the owner of the project as well as you as a contractor, making sure that everything matches and there's no communication issues as far as change orders or whether or not you are positively completing or progressing with the project, making sure our construction schedule is the same. So this is a monthly report that we also do for you. Robert will do a site visit report just to ensure more risk mitigation, making sure everything is going according to plan. Change order log review. I know a lot of the issues that contractors face is with change orders and not being approved or not being paid. So this is something we will support you with as well, all the way to the closeout. So, we want the agency to receive their collateral back, and we also want the contractor to have a successful closeout. So we help you with the closeout, determine what is needed to make sure everything is being closed out, retention is being paid, and all change orders are being paid. Next slide, please. Oh, that's it. Okay, well, if you have any questions, please go ahead and type it in the chat. We'll try to answer them right now. I don't know if there's any that came during my presentation, but please reach out to us if you're interested in enrolling. We definitely can help you further. This is no cost to you. It's a contractor, and we're here to help.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Michelle, for presenting on the contractor development and bonding programs for services and also acquainting contractors with the contracting, financing, and assistance program. And before we go on, we'd like to share a testimonial from one of our very own contractors. Carl Purcell and his team at KPA Contractors took advantage of the programs that Michelle just went over and benefited greatly from it. So we'd like to share this with you all. This is Carl Purcell from KPA Contractors.
There's been a lot of topics touched on today, and it's very interesting because we've really gone through a lot of the things that have been touched on, whether it's having funding to complete a project, putting together financial statements to obtain bonding. And today I want to talk to you about the integral role that the City of Los Angeles Contractor Development and Bonding Program has played in the ongoing success of my company, KPA Contractors. I'm going to stop calling it KPA Contractors. I'm just going to refer to it as KPA from now on because that's a tongue twister. But KPA is a California Certified Disadvantaged Business Enterprise, an LA County Small Business Enterprise Certified electrical construction company headquartered in Pasadena, California. A little bit more about myself and the company. I'm a graduate of USC's Viterbi School of Engineering with a degree in civil engineering. I hold a State of California professional engineering license and a State of California A and C10 contractor license. I spent many years working for heavy civil firms, for large heavy civil firms, including Flatiron Construction and Waltz Construction. Most of my career has been focused on LA Metro rail projects. In 2017, I started KPA Contractors with my partner, Kit Wong, to continue working on Metro rail projects while building a legacy for my family and myself. Our business focus was to become the systems electrical contractor of choice in the Los Angeles region by earning a reputation for high quality work while providing a safe environment for our employees and community through continued dedication to excellence and partnering with our clients. After KPA was founded in 2017, we began working as an electrical subcontractor on Metro rail projects. Most of the projects that we worked on were in the range of a few $100,000. But in 2019, we were awarded a subcontract for more than $3.7 million to install the complete radio systems on the Metro Regional Connector project. To execute this subcontract, however, we needed to provide a payment of performance bond for the full $3.7 million. Now, while our company had the technical expertise required to perform the work awarded to us, we did not have the financial maturity usually required to obtain a payment and performance bond. I think Ingrid mentioned it earlier, but when you go to get a bond, there's a lot of financial documents required, including a CPA reviewed financial statement. And sometimes they want a CPA reviewed financial statements for several years of the company's existence. And Merriwether and Williams was there and they helped us through that process. We had a relationship with a CPA before we contacted Merriwether and Williams, but they definitely helped us kind of, finalize the financial statement. And they also provided a subsidy, which helped us pay for the financial statement because they're not cheap. So be prepared for that. It's quite a sticker shock sometimes, but it was nice to have a small subsidy to help us. And really and truly, before we worked with Merriwether and Williams, we had tried to obtain the bond without going through the city program. So just on our own, we worked with another bonding agency. And pretty much what we heard from them was that they weren't going to be able to help us. There was no way, short of us coming up with close to $1 million, that we would be able to get the bond. And that's really troubling when you think about it, because at that point we had already won the contract. We had the contract, and the prime contractor was ready to give it to us. They just wanted us to provide the bonding. But with the guidance of those within the City of Los Angeles Contractor Development and Bonding Program, we're able to obtain several key elements that we needed to acquire the payment and performance bond, including $250,000 in collateral bonding support, third-party fund control administration, and a subsidy for the costs of our CPA prepared financial statement, as I mentioned earlier. And then once we had everything in place from the City of Los Angeles Contractor Development and Bonding Program, we got the bonds and we're able to sign the project for $3.7 million. And we still continue to work on that project successfully to this day. Our relationship with the City of Los Angeles Contractors Development and Bonding Program in Merriwether and Williams did not stop with the first bond that we got with them for $3.7 million. Last year, we also got another project for it was just under $1 million to install some, they call it trainway feeder conduit. It's just conduit inside the subway tunnels that are being constructed under Wilshire Boulevard. But once again, we were able to work with Merriwether and Williams to get our bond. And really, having worked on both sides of this relationship, right? Having worked with larger contractors and now having worked on our own, I can tell you that without the supportive programs like the program that we're here to learn about today, it'd be very hard to be successful in these public construction projects. The council member mentioned earlier that there's a lot of opportunities right now in LA to participate in a lot of very large mega projects, but funding becomes an issue. And so knowing how you're going to fund the project and keep your company going when you're waiting to be paid, 2-3 months after performing work is very important. So yeah, I definitely took a good step and come in today and learning more about the program with Merriwether and Williams. And with that, I'd like to say thank you for offering me the time to speak to everyone today, and I'll turn it back over. There's been a lot of topics touched.
Thank you to Carl Purcell and KPA Constructors for allowing us to share their testimonial this afternoon. We wish him and his partner all the best in this and future endeavors. For now, we have a poll question for the audience. After hearing all about the benefits and services of CDAP, would you like to enroll in the program to receive free technical assistance and resources? I'll give the audience 30 seconds to respond. Thank you everyone who participated. Representing Metro, we have Keith Compton, Director of the Diversity and Economic Opportunity Department and staunch supporter and believer of the program. We are so honored to have him with us today. Please welcome Keith Compton.
Thank you very much. I'm glad to be here. Thank you for having us. And yes, we are strong believers of the program. We have benefited greatly, and we have been able to support our small businesses in working on some Metro projects, including KPA Constructors. They are on at least one of our projects. So it was good to see that testimonial. I'd like to spend a few minutes on talking to people about how to do business with Metro. If we could go to the next slide. What I do is help with small business outreach. I help with our bonding program. I help with our mentor protege program. And I help with tracking the small business participation on our Metro contracts. So that's what I do as director for the Diversity and Economic Opportunity Department. Next slide. We can go to the next slide. What we want to do is make sure you know that we are your friends on the inside. As was mentioned earlier by Kathryn Barger, who's a director on our board, it's difficult to do business with the agencies. You have to learn how to do business with them because they do business differently for each agency. So we are advocates for small businesses. We help you navigate through our systems, and we want you to learn how to do business with us. as a public agency, it's our job to make sure you can do business with us. We provide training and resources on our processes. We have DBE, SBE, and DVBE contract goals that we have to make sure that we achieve, and we have to report to the FTA and to our board. So we're very serious about this, and we do a lot of monitoring. We monitor every contract that has a DBE, SBE, or DVBE goal. Next slide. It was mentioned earlier, certification. Certification is very, very important. And I know what's written here, you can read that, but I want to explain one thing. When we put a goal on a project, it is required by law for us to make sure we count how many small businesses are certified in that area so that we can justify putting that percentage goal on that contract. In other words, if small businesses don't get certified, that means there are fewer certified small businesses that we can use to justify putting a goal on a contract. So in addition to just helping yourself become a certified small business, you should also know that it ties our hands on putting a goal on a contract based on how large or how small the certified businesses are that perform that scope of work. Next slide. So we currently certify disadvantaged business enterprises, or DBE, and that's for federally funded programs or projects, and small business enterprise, SBE. We don't certify, but we do have DVBE goals, and we accept the Department of General Services certifications. Next slide. So requirements for certification for DBE and SBE must be an independent business organized for profit. So nonprofits are not allowed. Personal net worth must be less than 1.32 million. Annual gross receipts, 5-year average, must be less than 26.29 million. The qualifying individual must prove that they are in management and control of the daily business operations, and it must be 51% owned by the economically disadvantaged individual. Next slide. DBEs must also be socially disadvantaged. Socially and economically disadvantaged individuals means any of the following: citizen of the United States or lawfully admitted permanent resident who is a member of either the African American, Hispanic, Native American, Asian Pacific American, or subcontinent Asian American, or a woman. Next slide. Another program that I am over is monitoring our B2G Now program. But in addition to monitoring the participation on each contract, we also use the B2G system for certification for certifying, small businesses. So your certification application will be 100% online through the B2G Now system. And the certification program is managed by Dr. Irma Licea. So this is all under her purview. And Metro is the only CUCP member agency that has implemented an online certification and management system. So no more tons of paper and several copies, bringing them down to Metro and handing them in personally. It's a user-friendly platform, and this makes it also easier to track the number of applications in a certain area so that, again, we can put goals on projects. Next slide, please. And this is the information where you can apply for certification. It's on our Metro webpage. Just about anything small business that you may need to contact us for, you just have to remember metro.net/connect. If we were live, I'd make everyone stand up and say it, but we're not, so we can just go to the next slide. I'll get you next time. So in addition to some of the certification programs I've talked about, we also have a board-initiated small business prime set-aside. We use the set-aside program so that small businesses are not competing against large businesses when they go after contracts. They're just competing with other small businesses. To find out more about this set-aside program, please go to metro.net/connect and take a look at that information. Along with that, we also have the medium-sized business enterprise program, which is the MSZ program. And some of our small businesses who graduated from the Small Business Prime program said, hey, we're still not ready to compete with the big contractors. So we created a medium-sized business enterprise program. We also have a mentor protege program. And I'll talk just a tiny bit about that. We call it the Contracting Outreach and Mentoring Plan, or COMP. And what we do is we look at a procurement before it hits the street, and we find out if there are mentoring opportunities on that contract. And if there are, we will put a comp on that solicitation so that whoever wins that contract will be charged with mentoring small businesses in certain areas. The reason we did this is for capacity building. We wanted to get the prime contractors out of just subcontracting to small businesses and having that small business do the same thing over and over again and not grow. So this program attempts to break that cycle. Next slide. This is more about our Small Business Prime program. I'm sure this information is going to be sent to you or made available, but if you go to metro.net/connect, you can digest this. This is a lot of technical information, but these just show the thresholds for the Small Business Prime Set-Aside program. Next slide. And this is the same for the medium-sized business program. We look at firms that are doing a 3-year average of 25 million to 250 million. Next slide. And this is a new program that our contract compliance unit, which I'm also a director in, is working with. And you can go on our website and take a look at this, but this talks about meeting the definition of our medium-sized business program. And what we wanted to do was have a 2-tier medium-sized business program, because even within that medium size area, we got some feedback from small businesses saying that we needed to break it up. And so there are 2 levels within the medium-sized business program. Next slide. And this is about our mentoring, our mentor protege program that I oversee. And this talks about the requirements for this. Any solicitation or contract that we are putting on the street that is over $25 million, we take a look at to put the comp on. If there are contracting or mentoring opportunities, we will make that a part of the solicitation. It's not a do your best offer kind of thing. It is a contractual requirement. A matter of fact, the proposals that are submitted are actually scored. There's a scoring component on how comprehensive their comp proposal is and whether they had responded to the number of mentors, the number of proteges, the length, and what they plan to do or what they are committing to do. So this is a real mentor protege program. I guess we can go to the next slide. Metro.net/connect. It's a great place to take a look at when we do our How to Do Business with Metro events, which are every second Tuesday of the month. And these are great meetings to keep coming to over and over again, because we will have different guest speakers. We will have different prime contractors come. We may have small businesses come and talk about their experience, but we also have our project managers come and our contract administrators come, so that you can talk to them in person and ask them questions about what they look for when they put a solicitation out, or questions you might have in your area. So the How to Do Business with Metro informational events are every second Tuesday of every month. And I recommend people to come over and over and over again until they know everybody, until we know you. When you walk in the door and we say, oh, there's Michelle Carante, that's when you know you don't have to come anymore. It's not who you know, it's who knows you. The other one is the Transportation Business Advisory Council, which I also oversee. And this is made up of about 20 business organizations. They meet the first Thursday of every month, and they go over issues that small businesses face, and they give us advice on how to better do business with the small business community. And so it's a free event, or council meeting, I should say, and it's the first Thursday of every month. And to register, all you have to do is go to metro.net/connect and put your information on it there, fill your information out, and you'll get notifications of those meetings. Next slide. And this is metro.connect/connect. This is our vendor portal, and this is where you can get all kinds of information, make yourself familiar with it. We have 12-month look-aheads, contracts that we haven't yet put on the street, but are thinking about it. Over to the right in the gray boxes, you'll see linked there for the Transportation Business Advisory Council website. There's a lot of information here, so I would definitely spend some time on this webpage. Solicitations up at the top in the middle. This is where you would click to see what we are currently soliciting. If you want to do research and homework, you can look on the awards to see who was awarded what. That's good homework. And the small business tools section is where you can also find out a lot of information that would be helpful to you. I believe the certification link is under there. Next slide. So you see down below metro.net/connect. Next slide. Thank you. It's been a pleasure. I love coming to these wonderful events. Please make sure you reach out to us. We answer our phones. We don't have secretaries or whatever. We are committed to equity and fairness. And I'd like to thank Merriwether and Williams for doing the best job in the industry that I can find. And I look forward to another 3 years with you guys, and have a great rest of the evening.
Thank you so much, Mr. Compton, for such great information and resources for small businesses.
Thank you.
Another great supporter of the program and small businesses is Gayan Zakarian, Contracts Manager and Chief of Administrative Operations at the Los Angeles County Public Works. Please welcome Gayan Zakarian.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thanks for the introduction. It's my honor to join you here today. Los Angeles County Public Works is one of the largest public works agencies in the nation, with a workforce of 4,000 employees and our annual budget is more than 2.7 billion. In last fiscal year 21-22, Public Works awarded over 1.7 billion worth of contracts that helped create over 21,000 jobs. We've been working with our county departments and partners to help promote equity in county contracting. The Contractor Development and Bonding Assistance Program is one of the great efforts in removing any barriers in county contracting, so small businesses such as yours can successfully compete for construction projects. At this point, I'd like to introduce Amy Lee from my team, who will present on how to begin the process to doing business with Public Works. Amy assists overseeing the business outreach program at Public Works, which provide business-friendly contracting opportunity, as well as a broad range of other programs designed to promote local economic growth and prosperity. We look forward to partnering with you. Thank you so much. Amy?
Thank you, Guyan, and thank you to the regional CDAP for having us. Hi, everyone. My name is Amy Lee, and I am with the Business Relations and Contracts Division at LA County Public Works. And I will be talking a bit about how to do business with Public Works. Next slide. So Public Works touches on many things. I think a bit more than most people realize, from water to waste management to transportation to vertical and horizontal construction, lots of things that are critical to our LA County constituents that we could not possibly do alone as one single department. And that's where you as contractors come in. Next slide. Here in the business relations section, we implement programs that lift up communities, as Guyan said, and individuals through our contracting. More so now than ever, the county has been committed to creating more equity and contracting through these programs and promoting accessibility and removing those identified barriers that LSBEs, DVBEs, SEs, or other targeted businesses might face. So the question is, how do you work with the county? Next slide. Well, the very first step is to become a county vendor. Before you can even begin to do business with the county or any of the 37 departments, we need to know who you are and what do you provide. Registering with ISD allows you to do just that, and you just need to register to submit that bid or proposal. We'll even have links dropped in the chat right there so you can begin that process right away. Next slide. Step 2 is to certify with the county. Once you register as a county vendor, you can then certify with LA County, as I mentioned, with the LSBE, DVB, SE, and CBEs. There are many benefits to certifying with the county. We take this very, very seriously in the county, and we are always striving to increase our utilization of our certified contractors. Through the new Department of Economic Opportunity, you can certify, for these right here. We work with them closely, and they are just the most fantastic resource. Click the link in the chat we have down again and certify for the one that applies to you, and you may qualify for benefits like 15% bid reduction preference, prompt pay, exclusive listings, and a lot more. Next slide, please. So once that's done, you're ready to go, and now you just need to land that bid or that contract so that you can do business with Public Works. The next slide here includes the types of Public Works contracting opportunities. Oh, next slide, please. They're broken down into these major categories here. Next slide. This slide includes the 20,000 types of materials and services that we've procured. So it really brings us into perspective about what I said about earlier, that Public Works has a lot of need for vendors and contractors in order to do what we do. So some of you may not even realize, so don't write us off if you think that it might not relate directly to potholes or tree trimming or whatever you think that Public Works does. It could be a lot more than you realize. Next slide. Now, in order to even land a contract, you're going to need to know where to look, and that's dobusinesswithpublicworks.com. If there's one link you're taking away from this entire presentation, please click on dobusinesswithpublicworks.com. And again, we have that in the chat. It has all the information I'm going over in this presentation and probably a lot more. Next slide. On this website, you can search for opportunities by filtering for your business, wherever you fit in, whether it be infrastructure, building, professional, purchasing, or sundry for things like graffiti removal. Everything can be filtered out so that you can really hone in to what it is that you provide. Next slide. And you can even search opportunities by their status, whether it's closed, whether it's awarded, and probably what you're most interested, the open and upcoming. So we currently have a lot of opportunities already open at the moment, and we already have, I think it was over 70 upcoming opportunities listed on the page. And that's 70 plus that you can start preparing for, either getting your bids or proposals together, or to start getting in touch and partnering with the people and the businesses that will help you become more competitive. Next slide. So we're going to kind of break down into an open opportunity. This is just, an example. There are a few key items to note. For one, the proposal due date and time. You definitely do not want to miss that. The contact person or the contract administrator that's listed, and the RFP documents. Make sure to read them carefully so that you're submitting your proposal exactly according to what is being requested in that document. And then obviously, proceed with the bid instructions. Next slide. When you are competing for a contract, you can create an account and register for that specific project. That way you'll get any automatic emails when addenda are released. It also publishes your contact information so that other contractors can reach out and partner with you. As Keith had mentioned, it's not about who you know, it's about who knows you. Next slide. So whether you're a prime or a sub, it's good to register and be a plan holder. And that's in that era right there. If you're a sub looking to partner with the prime, this is a good place to put your company name out there, and primes can reach out and partner with you. Even if you're listed as a prime and you don't get awarded, there may still be opportunities for you to partner with that winning prime for opportunities in the future. Next slide. So set yourself up for success. There are so many resources and opportunities available. Make it so that you have done everything in your power in preparation for when that perfect opportunity comes. Make sure you're registered, get certified through our new Department of Economic Opportunity. Make sure you take advantage of those benefits by certifying, sign up as a plan holder, register for the opportunities, get involved with the CDABP or CDAP if you haven't already, so you can take advantage of the bonding assistance and technical assistance that they provide. It's very crucial that you fill out your bid documents correctly, and the CDAP does help you with that technical assistance with the bid review. So you have those resources available to you. So just make sure that you do that. And one of the things that we also recommend is to contact your contract administrators. They have the information. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Make sure you're signed up to receive the notifications, because any question that they send to the contract administrator also gets posted. So it's just this wealth of information that you can tap into. And information will always be one of your greatest resources. Stay ahead of the opportunities, stay in the know, stay up to date. And as always, attend the pre-bid and pre-proposal meetings if they have them. It's a great way to just build those partnerships and just stay in the know and be in the industry. Next slide. So in this slide, we just have a few examples of our upcoming opportunities in this supervisorial district. Hopefully after this presentation, you won't even need to attend an event like this in order to know what's coming up, because you'll already see them when you check the upcoming opportunities on our dobusinesswithpublicworks.com webpage. Next slide. And this is my favorite and greatest tip of this presentation. Subscribe to our Do Business with Public Works newsletter, get weekly notifications on new opportunities every week. And that includes great resources and events such as this one, just a wealth of information and wealth of resources of all kinds for businesses like yours. Our team puts a lot of pride in these email blasts, and you'll be the first to know what opportunities are available for that's coming up. Okay, next slide. Okay, and that concludes our presentation. Our contact information is available on the screen here. Feel free to reach out if you want to connect to our team, connect with our team, or if you have any additional questions. We're always happy to hear from you. And with that, I hand it back to our host. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Amy, for sharing your knowledge on doing business with County Public Works. We'd like to thank all the panelists for joining us today. We know that a lot of information was shared, and don't worry if you didn't capture everything. We will be providing the slides, contact information, and recording of the webinar for your records. Finally, we'd like to invite you to our next outreach workshop on October 27th. Information for that will also be provided with the slides and the recording. Finally, we've hope you found this webinar informative and helpful. We'll be staying on for a couple of minutes in case you have any questions for our account manager, Rick Casillas. You can go ahead and enter or submit those in the chat function. But we'll be staying a little bit longer for that. But again, thank you for joining us, and we hope to see you on our next event.